Did you know a day in a Earth used to have only 6 hours in the beginning? In the beginning, when it started, right? So now it's 24 hours. So change is in nature. Change is in creation, right? So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bishnu Subedi. I started my career in software development since 2007 after completing computer science degree. I'm an active member of Agile Nepal. Uh, Keenly interested these days into management 3.0. And yeah, Agile is something that I'm learning continuously. These days I lead 60 plus engineering team in Cloudfactory as a head of engineering Nepal. Learning about cultures, experimenting how we set goals and achieve goals is something that I'm keenly interested. So today, when we talk about changes, how to the change is in nature, right? Change is inevitable. Every business goes through the changes, our situation, our processes. So change is there. Change is inevitable. It may seem uncomfortable for some people, some team, and mostly for many of us, right? But can it be enjoyable and accomplishing at the same time learning? So my today's my presentation is all about that. So I will share my personal experience about the changes. So my personal journey, about three seasons of changes. That's what I will be sharing. What were the challenges on those seasons of changes? What did we learn? What did I learn? And how those somehow related to Agile principles. That's what, and what are the Agile principles that we every day talk about. So that's what I will cover. So first season of change. When I joined the engineering team, so that was the time when things were the things were started. So the goal was to build a platform in the cloud that enables production line like manufacturing in the cloud to able to digitize uh, documents. So that was the goal. And you know what? Previously, hardly 1 million records were being processed, but now that platform was supposed to process and build processes, teams, software, most importantly, software to build, to be able to enable business to process 1 million records in a single day. So that was the aim, that was the goal. And there were so many challenges, but just highlighting some of them. So more or less, the deadline was 2 months. And we knew where to reach, what to achieve, but didn't know what is the end-to-end solution. What are the major pieces? How? We didn't know how. And 75% of engineering team was recently hired, more or less within last 6 to 8 months timeline. So they're new to technology stack or business domain itself. And the scalability, imagine when 25 member team, that platform was supporting, now needed to support more or less active 5,000 workers daily so that digitization can happen. So those were the main challenges, and journey began. That season, responding to that situation began. What happened? So, yeah, we knew about agile things, but we were not looking about the frameworks or anything. We knew about that. We studied blogs and everything, but we are not necessarily keen or tied to the process itself because we had a clear goal. So everybody knew, including business people, knew what we are aiming. In 2 months timeline, we had biggest client was coming in. We need to process 1 million records minimum in a day. That platform needed to be built. Those components, the digital production line in the cloud needed to be built. That was clear. So members were divided into 4 teams, more or less. And then, so the good thing happened there is everybody was there. Daily or every other day, there was a table discussion were happening. Business people were coming to engineering people, and then if there were questions, they get to engineering team members were able to ask question, collaborate. So that was there. Platform voice, user voice, business voice was there. No needed to set up a meeting and something like that. So everyone was there. So smaller iteration. In some cases, every other day, we engineering team we used to show the demo. So okay, this is what we achieved. Okay, how do we move ahead? So that's what was going on. And then the important aspect is, even though core technical, recently new member, right? New engineering member, but they were so eager and they wanted to achieve, didn't want it to fail, succeed. So that led to an important thing. So they offered, or there was a consensus that we work overtime. And then everybody was staying in the office, doing brushes in the morning. Every other day you go to office, you see people doing brushes in the office itself, right? So what happened? So yeah, a smaller iteration, they get paid, right? By the way, company was nice enough to pay the engineering team member for extra time, but the enthusiasm, that's what I wanted to focus. So those were some challenges were there, some action happened. Now, what did we learn in that? What did personally I learn from that? In Agile philosophy, it says build projects around motivated individuals, give them support, empowerment, and you get the project successful. So my learning was, yes, motivated people make projects successful. That's for sure. Likely to succeed, right? But where does the motivation comes from? Motivation, if there is no goal to achieve, motivation doesn't come. So yes, there was a clarity on goal, achieving something, right? Didn't know how to achieve, but there was clarity of goal, what to achieve. And then every other day we were working, right? Every other day there was some progress is being happen. So, and then in the meantime, figuring out, okay, what's the solution for this slicing thing? What is the solution for, okay, this particular dispatching to work? What is the solution for managing the skill of that cloud worker? So everything was happening in between, but every other day people were making progress. So motivated people make projects successful, but they need a goal to get motivated, and to get the motivation you need smaller wins. That sense of accomplishment every now and then to reach there is needed. So that's the cycle that I personally learned in this whole thing. Okay, finally, the software was delivered, client happened, and it led to, basically that foundation led to the company to raise a Series A funding of disclose. This is publicly disclosed information, so that's why I'm saying. So 5 million happened. So yes, that's the one season that I learned, my experience. Then again, the changes happened. The season 2 started. Suddenly, that team built a successful platform, scalable, was scaling, working fine. Suddenly, business saw opportunity somewhere else. The great business opportunity was somewhere else. So there was a kind of a U-turn. Now there was an enlightenment. Okay, money is there somewhere. Okay, we need to go into that path. So basically, from one platform, which was digital production line in the cloud, to moved into on-demand, cloud-based, on-demand trained workforce. So business providing that support to clients. That was the crux of the new platform. So whatever that engineering team built, no more. Business was running, coming, but new idea, no more. So now new platform was needed. So what were the challenges? By this time, remember, engineering team was experienced now. They built a platform successfully. They were experienced, but needed to build an end-to-end workflow. And the work now was happening not in our platform. Work could happen anywhere, but we were providing trained workforces. So we needed to maintain a high quality data still. Still data digitization and giving data to our client is what that team was doing. So that platform needed to be built. But you know what? Business was already made the decision and moved ahead. So client was already being served. Software even didn't start building. So software, there is zero software to manage that new process. But business was already started serving. So catching off of that platform for that engineering team was happening. Now, criticism was there because already happening now, our business needed more features, more capabilities in software. So by this time, there were certified engineers, certified Scrum Masters, even certified developers. Team, more or less team driving the solution, okay, what we need to build. So to control the quality of works, new browser was introduced. And then there were many components, how to do a quality, how to increase the quality or maintain the quality. Those components also we needed. And then engineering team, regardless of what's going on, consistently was continuously focusing on smaller improvement, continuously. Even though getting feedback, okay, we need more, we need faster. They were doing it. The criticism was there. They were doing it continuously, looking into the how do we do the code review, how do we do the pull request, pull request reviews, and how do we do automated testing, how do we do load testing. So how do we do service-oriented architecture from more service-oriented to more microservice architecture? So continuous excellence was there. How do we use Ansible or some tools so that our deployment pipelines are easier? So continuous excellence was there, and continuous delivery was there. So yes, first iteration, enthusiasm or motivation led to a success. In this iteration, what I learned personally, people are not on the run. They can't run every season. They can't run always. So we need to respect that it's a walk, it's a journey, and we need to promote sustainable way to develop things. So people can repeat every time. Every partner, business partner, development team, everybody in the team can continue that journey without getting panic. So that's what I learned. And even though you get continuously improve what you have, continuously look for improvement. And you know what? So the reason the criticism was coming because we somehow missed that previous iteration of equal partnership. So now more structure, more functions were there, right? So somehow more partnership from business people was needed, but at the same time they were focusing on how to focus on new way of delivery, not in the building software. So that's where I realized your business people are equal partner for success. Your business people are just like engineering team or software building team. They are equal partner. Without them, you will struggle. So when they are equal partner, you're likely to get succeed. So that's what happened. And by the way, what happened to the platform? So eventually, business changed again. And when we when the feedback was coming that platform is great. It solves every need. Now business user may not want to change that because it suits perfectly what they are doing. So you know what? Continuously focusing, engineering team focusing on that, even though there were criticism, eventually that the user satisfaction was there eventually, right? So you get that. So if you continually work on improvements, you get that. So with this foundation, again, this is publicly disclosed information, so I'm only sharing that. So with this platform's foundation, business was able to raise or got the investment in different round, 7.3 million. So that was again the foundation and processes. So that was another season that I learned some of the things that in season of responding to changes. So now, again, okay, this is the final response to the changing season. So this is the, yeah. So what happened here is, again, business are different. Okay, great. Our first iteration of platform is bringing the business, which is digital factory in the cloud. Second generation, which is on-demand workforce. Okay, but all these are pipelines. So you mean you get the in, you create a stream of pipeline, and then get the output out service to the client. So whole pipe is being managed by us as a business. So what's the change? Now change is platform, real platform, not software platform. So platform business, what's the platform business? Where your producer, consumer, or users interacting with the platform and creating value for themselves, right? So that was the model, business model. Now for us as an engineering team, again, change, again building software, you know what, again building from scratch. So build a software, that is scales, the assumption was that is scales 100,000 workers, 100,000 users, active users who work on producing some value for consumers. And then whole managing pipeline, there are systems and processes and software features, but now it's a self-managing platform. So end user will manage their need. And then new stack architecture is also new with the assumption that we need to scale. And really, in that new stack, only one person was kind of experienced enough. It was new language, new framework. So those were the challenges. And you know what? In previous iteration, their code used to be very simple, but not in this new architecture, new era. So new development flow itself, new architecture, suddenly from building a pull request and creating whole service, managing MySQL or Postgres in EC2 instances to suddenly writing a code that itself configures the AWS provided servers. So writing your code in managing your infrastructure via code. And so many changes, right? A learning curve, especially for our engineers in new cloud native development. Scalability by design and resiliency, because we were solving for scale. Fluidity in team and stability. So that was the major challenge. So whether we maintain a fluid team or dynamic team when team member move, that was also another challenge. So just brief. So what we were looking for in new architecture, new platform. Again, the change from the day get-go needed to build so many of these things, think about that from the day one, data, legality, scalability, and performance, and all those things with the change of development itself. And you know what? Now the perfect process is there, right? The Scrum is there, perfect process. The Scrum is one way that implements the Agile principles, right? The Scrum implements the Agile principles. It gives those opportunity. It's a framework to implement and be Agile, right? Yes, everything was there. So we must be succeeding, right? Yeah, our highest priority is still serving customers, but except when it is difficult. So what happened here is we invested time on technical things, needed to be. It was by design, right? That's what we wanted to scale, right? And then everybody learned. So many people learned new way of doing things, more versatile, working, how to write software, how to build software from building to running. So more or less, all engineers were equipped or going in that direction from building to running. You build, you own. So that mindset, and so many cloud native components were added so that resilience is there, backup is there. So everything was there, but our user waited longer. They had to wait, right? So what did I learn? What did I personally learn from this? Again, same thing. No matter what you do, you got to deliver frequently. You got to deliver frequently. And don't wait long to reflect things. Do reflect as soon as possible. Do regularly reflect and adjust. And no reports, no matter, no metrics is enough when there is no working software is there. So primary metrics of success is working software where user can use it. So satisfy customer early. Don't wait. Don't take time early enough. So those were my learnings. Those were my learnings in this season. So what happened is with this platform, great achievement was done, great stuff was built. Now, users were, even though they get a little bit slower, but reflected the practice so that we frequently deliver more values, more usable components. With this platform foundation and business processes led to another round of investment of $65 million, making it to publicly disclose $78 million. So again, there was challenges, but reflecting, adjusting, and acknowledging those challenges and improving that, again, led to some success. So what did we learn while these seasons of changes? Every season brings the changes. Change is only constant, right? That's what it is from beginning of Earth, creation of Earth to us. It's the only change, so we need to embrace it. And motivated people lead to success, and they need a motivation, and achieving something is motivation. So they need to have a goal. When every time there was empowerment or there is a collaboration among every functions, always success happen. Every time when we delivered some value, no matter what value, everybody was happy. And I personally learned business people are equal partner of success. No one engineering team or software development team can succeed when their business partner are working in silos. So they are equal partner. People near to problem, while in this all season of change, now I can really confidently say that your best architects, your best designers, your best innovators are within the team. Within the team. So team members can come up with the innovative solution. So people who are near to problem, are solving the problem, are the innovators. So trusting them, empowering them is, and letting them to self-manage is key for innovation. That's what I learned. So while this, let's not forget one of the most important aspect. While those drawings may not fully reflect the whole culture that I wanted to talk about, but yes, the meaningful relation, a deep relationship of camaraderie, a friendship. So how comfortable you feel to interact with other is a key. And that relationship makes your whole life easier because people can interact, people can ask questions, people are comfortable. So that's what I learned. And those relationships not just built from work. So you can have and in my opinion, you should have a relation other than work as well. So you need to have a relation, and you can have many things. Together we win, together we lose, should be the attitude. And every time when that happens, it leads to always in the success. A smaller interaction session, a smaller learning session, prayer program means there are so many components that any engineering team can practice. Should be there. Games, funs. Workplace can be fun. You need to have a fun. You don't need to track time for what people are doing. If people are engaged, they will deliver value. They will produce value. So, and most importantly, initiative. What is initiative? People, when without being told, they do the right thing or do the things with the right intention. Without being told, this is the initiation, right? When you have a culture of taking initiation, likely to succeed. That's what I learned. So, just like Agile principle, team culture matters more than process. I absolutely believe in this. Now let's look into the Agile principles. So I learned personally some of the things. So these 12 Agile principles are a way to implement some Agile things, or be Agile, or be, somebody is talking about Agile, then where to start? These indicators, these gives indication if we are doing right, if we are being Agile, if we are iterating so that we can figure out the unknowns. We don't need really Agile for known things, right? So these are the key principles. I'm not going to explain each of them, but some of them or most of them, that were also my learning. Every time there was a goal, people were motivated. When there was a software, there was a support, people were succeeding. When there was a working software, people were happy. Business was happy. So sustainable, when you have a sustainable development, you can make progress. Work together, collaboration is needed. When collaboration is not there, complaint may start, right? Every time these principles were there, we were making progress, we were making good progress. So, in summary, what I learned and what I suggest is respond to the situation or changes with the opportunity of learning. What can we learn from this? And improve and trust your team member, most importantly, to make that change happen. These Agile principles are set of behaviors. Even though those are some of the aspects that you need to implement, but these are set of behaviors that are usually reflected when teams are succeeding. Or when those behavior, when you think about those behavior and try to reflect that, you may likely to get succeed. Success is not necessarily come, but likely to get success, or even because you get the chance to improve earlier, sooner. So again, reflect these Agile principles, or as a whole Agile philosophy, reflect this. How can we improve? How can we handle the change? That's how I say it. Open mind for changes. Trusting, respecting, empathizing, understanding people, and most importantly, being a learning organization. Are we learning as a team, as a company, as a business? Are we learning? What we are learning? So being a learning organization is a key to respond to change. Teams struggle, fail, tumble, so all relates to failure. Team everywhere, wherever you go, wherever, which company, which business, they tumble. They may fail, but desire to be better, desire to be learning, always brings things back in track. So my key message is this. So team may fail, struggle, but being a learning organization, being desire to be good and be a part of a success, always brings things back in track. We're not perfect. As a team, we're not perfect. But there is a conscious effort to be a learning organization, to learn something from that past and try to continuously improve. And I believe that makes the primary difference responding to change. And I hope you will also do the same. Thank you. I don't know how much time I get.